May I have the count? May I have the council up on the dais, please? I'll call the meeting to order. Will the men please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
You got me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mayor Paul.
Here.
Vice Mayor Whitman.
Here.
Councilmember Starkey.
Here.
Councilmember Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Lamack.
Here.
Mr. Lewis. Mr. Holstein. Mr. Weinfeld. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Call my name? I didn't hear my name. No problem. I'm here.
Okay.
Going deaf.
As we have no presentations this evening, no withdrawals or that I see. Okay, so we can go right ahead with the approval of the consent agenda. Is there anyone that wishes to pull anything from the consent agenda?
No, thank you.
No, my goodness. May I have, go ahead?
I didn't know if we were going to do and have another presentation under.
No.
Okay.
Motion?
Where was I? Yeah,
Can I have a
okay.
motion?
May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Going on to the public hearing. Oh, before I do that, I needed to make an announcement. I'm sorry. I just wanted to take a few moments to extend our condolences. We're quite saddened by the passing of Louis Demetrius, who left us much too soon on August 7th, 2022. Louis lived in Davie and was the owner of Geronimo's Grill. Louis attended South Plantation High School, where he excelled in wrestling. In later years, Louis had several business ventures, but his pride and joy was always Geronimo's Bar and Grill, originally in the University Park Plaza before relocating to the current site in the Target Shopping Plaza at 5810 University Drive in Davie. His thriving businesses were due to his adept business knowledge, expansive network of friends, and his generosity to so many. Louis will be sadly missed, and we want you to keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. And I know that he didn't want to have a service or anything. He wanted to join everybody to join at Geronimo's Grill, I think this Monday, to celebrate his life, and he will be sorely missed. I know every time we went to Geronimo's, he was always such a wonderful host. So, moment of silence, please. Amen. It's always sad when we lose people. I wanted to mention, too, that a neighbor passed yesterday, Charlie Kohlberg. He was very, very active, going way back to Imagination Farms when they were planning to come in. He was in that 31st Court crew that was very active with Mike Bender and a few other individuals. So I'd also like to extend our condolences to his family. Okay. On the public hearing, first thing is the ordinance number 10 is a code amendment. Mr. Weinfeld, this is the second reading. Would you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, amending the following sections of Chapter 12 Land Development Code, Article 3, Use Regulations, Section 12-33, General Regulations, Section 12-34, Standards for Specific Uses, Article 5, Development Standards, Section 12-88, Exceptions to Minimum Yard Requirements, Article 6, Site Landscaping, Tree Preservation, and Land Clearing, Article 10, Planning and Development, Division 2, Rezonings, Text Amendments, Special Permits, Variances, and Vacations, or abandonments of right-of-way, Division 6, Temporary Use Permits, Article 12, Subdivisions, Site Plans, and Certifications of Use, Article 13, Special Planning Areas and Districts, Division 12, Transit-Oriented Corridor, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak? You can come forward at this time if you're for or against. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Is there any questions or discussion by council?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve code amendment. Roll call, please.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Also, second reading, number 11 is a code amendment. Mr. Weinthal, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, amending the following sections of Chapter 12 Land Development Code, Article 8, Signs, Lighting, Section 12-239, Placement and Design of Permanent Signs, Section 12-245, Non-Conforming Signs, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. If anyone wishes to speak for or against, you can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any questions or comments by council? No, thank you. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve code
Second.
amendment. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Whitman?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes,
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank you.
Excuse me.
Number 12 is a land use plan amendment. This is, requires a supermajority. Mr. Weinthal, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, approving land use plan amendment application LA 21-348, Reserve at Davie, amending the Town of Davie comprehensive plan by changing the future land use map designation of certain lands from commercial and residential 1 DU an acre to irregular residential 2.3 DUs an acre, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Anyone that wishes to speak for or against it may come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Are there any questions or discussion by council? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the land use amendment.
Motion to approve land use amendment, plan amendment number 12.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 13 is a budget amendment. Mr. Weinthal, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, authorizing the third amendment to the fiscal year 2022 budget, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
This is a public hearing. If any members of the audience would like to come up and speak. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any discussion by council? Okay, may I have a motion to approve the budget amendment?
Motion to approve 13 budget amendment.
Is there a second?
Second? Go ahead, Michelle.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, number 14 is quasi judicial. It's a second and final reading. It's a rezoning and requires a supermajority. Mr. Weinthal, has the quasi been waived?
Yes, Mayor, quasi is waived.
Thank you very much. Would you please read the title?
An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, approving rezoning application ZB21-349, Reserve at Davie, changing the zoning designation of certain lands within the Town of Davie from agriculture to low-medium dwelling R5 district, amending the town zoning map to comply therewith, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone that wishes to speak for or against this? You can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions? And I just want to reiterate that even though it says R5 here, they were committed to 2.3, so and that's solid, so we don't have to be concerned with that. Thank you very much. No other comments? Okay. May I have a motion to approve number 14, rezoning?
Motion to approve rezoning number 14, public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes,
Vice Mayor Whitman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank you. Next is resolutions, is a variance. The item is number 15, it is Jones. Has the quasi been waived?
Yes, Mayor.
Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Okay. Just in case we have any questions, okay. Mr. Weinthal, will you read the
Read the variance by title. Yes, Mayor. A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, taking final action on variance application V22-077 Jones, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments from council? No, I just wanted to make one comment. We had a concern about the type of fence and a previous one that we had denied, and this one is quite different and certainly fits in better than the other one would have. So I have no problem with this, and I feel that we didn't set a precedent on this type of fence from the last one. So if someone would like to make a motion to approve.
Motion to
Go ahead.
approve?
Second. Oh, sorry, Michelle.
Roll call, please.
She was ready to-
The dueling.
You just want to get to speak on.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Whitman.
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. There you go, easy peasy. We have another variance, number 16. Mr. Weinthal, has quasi been,
Yes, Mayor.
okay. Would you please read it by title?
Yes, Mayor.
You can-
A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, taking final action on variance application V22-073 Dories, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Anyone that wishes to speak for or against can come forward at this time. Is the applicant here? Okay. Just if we have any questions, okay? Unless you feel compelled to speak. Okay. I'll close the public hearing then. Any questions, concerns by council? No? No? Can I have a motion then to approve the variance?
Motion to approve variance 16.
I'll second it. Roll call.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes,
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Whitman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank you very much. Carry on. That closes the public hearing portion of the meeting. Go on to appointments. We have the Public Art Advisory Committee to make appointments. based on what I talked about at the last meeting in relationship to Tony Webb, I've had a conversation with the attorney, and she will be able to sit on the board, and if by some chance she wants to do a major project for the town, she would just resign. And I think of all the people that I know in the town, she's probably been one of the most active and most very, very talented. So I really think we could
Use her expertise.
use her expertise, yeah. So that's my appointment. Any of the other three individuals have someone?
I had an art teacher that I thought would be good, and she moved from Weston to Flanagan, so that puts her out of Davie, and she doesn't live in Davie, so I can't appoint her.
Okay.
I thought she was at Weston. She worked in Davie. I could have her be on the board. But no.
Susan or?
Not yet, ma'am, thank you.
No?
Still trying to find it.
Yes, for question?
No? Did you have an appointment for the arts?
No,
School?
no.
Okay, let's see if we can't maybe put out a call and see if there's anybody that might be interested. I know I put it in my article for the DRW for September, so we might get some inquiries based on that. Might help. Okay. No old business, no new business. Oh, guess what? Our next meeting is the first budget hearing.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Moving right along.
Time flies.
Yeah. And then September 14th is the special assessments hearing. Oh, boy. Before you know it, it's going to be Christmas.
Oh, just don't say that. Something like 18 Fridays till Christmas, Sundays till Christmas.
Okay, Mayor and council member comments. Vice Mayor, would you like to start us off?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Okay, we have a back to school officially began yesterday for Broward schools and today for Miami-Dade schools. With that in mind, I asked everyone to be courteous and exercise patience as the roadways are a little bit busier. Remember to follow the school zone rules. If there is a flashing school zone light, please apprehend to the speeding limits. I also want to thank our police personnel who I see are enforcing the laws in school zones. And as an added factor, they have electronic signs throughout the community warning about the traffic laws. I wish all the educators, students, counselors, parents, and all the other staff members a safe school year. A couple of weeks ago, our Davie Police and Fire Rescue Departments led an active shooter response drill at Nova Southeast University. The drill was as realistic as possible, with participants from students, CERT members, community members, and several public safety and law enforcement agencies across Broward County. I and my mom participated in this drill, so we both had hands-on experiences with how things were done and the team's response. It's reassuring to see our public safety teams working to ensure the safety of all. That's it for me, Mayor. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Marlon?
Thank you, Mayor. Let me start off by saying I'm happy to see that our Parks and Recreation team are investing in their facility since they closed the fitness center the other day to upgrade the equipment with a couple of rooms. Way to go, guys. While I was sitting here, this wasn't a part of what I was going to talking about, but I appreciate, Mayor, you know, what you said about Louis Demetrius earlier, and I was sitting here thinking it wasn't too long ago that I was sitting in Geronimo's with Claudette Bonville. And Claudette had come from Europe and was telling me how she had never eaten French fries with mayonnaise. And I said, well, order them. So she ordered them. They brought a big bag of French fries. The waitress didn't leave the mayonnaise. We're looking for the waitress, and I said, I'll be right back. I got up, and I went in the kitchen. I came back, and I set the mayonnaise down. And Claudette looked at me, and she said, Marlon, did you just go in the kitchen and get me mayonnaise? And I said, yes. She said, Marlon, you're spending way too much time in Geronimo's. And yes, and that's a common joke that I spent too much time in Geronimo's, but I've been single for many, many years, but even before that, my wife worked on the West Coast, and that was pretty much where you saw me 4 or 5 nights a week was in Geronimo's. I was sitting about Claudette, and then because we've lost Claudette to cancer, I've lost Louis and lost somebody else earlier this year to cancer. And it just, I just long for the day when that disease is finally gone, that it just brought so much suffering that so many people, and it's just a scourge on mankind. And I just pray for the day that we all don't have to deal with it, because it affects all of us. 1 in 4 gets it. But it affects, when you lose a friend, you lose a family, it affects everybody. And, you know, when it's just sitting here thinking of Claudette and not seeing her and not seeing Louis now, that's like losing family.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just so painful. And I just long for the day when that's gone. And I'm sorry I'm going off on this tangent, but it was so much on my mind that I just had to share that with everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good time.
Yeah. I think about Claudette every day. Carol, would you like to say?
Thank you, Mayor. I have just a few things. Number one, Parks and Rec. Jeff, Chad, everybody that works with you and works in Parks and Rec, I have to give them a big kudos. They've just been doing a wonderful job. And I was at the breakfast yesterday, the veterans breakfast, and they were all thrilled to be back, to be having their breakfast and having it in the gym. And then the ladies from which I was one of the first classes, the exercise class, the chair exercise, they were effusive about how wonderful it was, how exciting they were. They just couldn't wait till it came on Tuesdays and Fridays. So the word is out, and the new equipment over at the fitness center, I hear, is excellent. It's finished, it's complete, it's all in, so that's great. And I just want you guys to know you work super hard, from Kevin to all his the people that cook, and you guys that shop and cook and work here. I just want to give you a big thank you. You do a wonderful job. So they really do. It's okay. You can blush.
You may bow.
I just said you could blush. The other thing was, as Ms. Vice Mayor Whitman said, yesterday was the opening of school. As a former teacher, it was a pleasure not to have to get up usually on the first day of school to go to school. And I'm retired now, so I did pick a school to go to for they asked us to come if we wanted to come and greet the children as they came. And I chose Silver Ridge, which is right over here, Mr. Vedder's school, which is a gorgeous school. He's done such beautiful things. But it amazed me. They all knew where they were going. It was like, we said, hi, how are you? Have a great year. They all looked adorable in their uniforms. And they all just walked by, and their parents, they walked right inside. They knew, and they said, do you know what? Yes, I'm in. How did they know? They must have gotten it in the mail or something. So I asked. And they had an orientation on the day before. And they had, which is amazing, 100% attendance to find out who their teachers were, what was going on at the school. And I've been in school for many, many years, and you don't usually get 100% attendance. People just come and they go to the office, where do I go? So I have to thank Mr. Vedder for his attitude and what he's doing at that school. It's really very well done. And that was the only one I got to yesterday. So to all the others and all the teachers out there, I don't envy you, but I do envy you because I love working with the kids, and I hope you all have a wonderful year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, lots of good things, lots of good things.
Councilmember Starkey, would you like to?
Just the kids going back to school has just been extraordinary this year. You're hearing how well many of the Davie schools, you get feedback, I know everybody up here has, about how well the kids are attending the school and everything's going so smoothly. So I too put 4 little ones, grandchildren, into schools yesterday, and boy, I tell you, I can't believe how quickly they're growing up. It's just amazing to see. It's so fast. So I really appreciate it. One of the things we held last Saturday, which was very nice, and I thank Parks and Rec and everybody on the Ag Board for their initiative, and that's the Green Gardening Initiative for container gardenings and raised beds. They're going to do a series on that, on education, and I look forward to attending those myself and making sure that we get this initiative out, because we can't farm locally with big plots of land. We certainly can do containers in our own yards and raised beds in our own yards, and we'll hopefully get the word out on how to do that. I think that would be exciting. I know Tula's in the audience right here, and I know she grows herbs in her own front of Flashback Diner. I think that's something that should be continued with all of our little restaurants up and the big restaurants in Davie as well. So I think that's very good that they're going to be doing that. And thank you, Jeff, again for that. I want to thank Gosdell for pressure cleaning Pine Island Road and working with the county to finally get them to clean up that bridge. I've been waiting patiently, and I know it's going to be a while to get that cooperation to get that bridge cleaned. It's just they wait until they get the squeaky wheel, and finally we get it done. But thank you for that and what you're going to be doing along Pine Island Road. I think it's well needed. Can't wait to see the new landscaping and maintenance. We want to keep it green and clean. I attended the Florida League of Cities conference Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It was here locally. I serve on the policy committee for finance and taxation and personnel. So we had our meeting for that to kick off the legislative initiatives. I also attended another policy committee, which I'll be on next year, for municipal administration. We also had a nominating committee, which we voted on having our new president and our new first vice president and a new second vice president. And the slate of officers were absolutely amazing, and we're real excited that we have new elected officials along the way. I also was reappointed to the Florida League of Cities Board of Directors by the nominating committee as well, so I appreciated that. On Friday, we had a lot of workshops, some phenomenal speakers, and it was just really, really an amazing thing. I also serve on the Federal Action Strike Team, which is your federal initials, so I take that up to the federal issues on what we have. Chances are we're going to be going up again in like September, and then or February, depending on how it goes in September, if we're going to be going or not. They're still trying to work out that. We also had responding to mass shootings and advice for city leaders. In other words, the biggest takeaway is stay in our own lane. We have professionals that look out for what we do, and that's our police chief and our administrators and our fire chief. And bottom line is, as elected officials, we're there to, just basically reassure our communities on whatever is going on at the time, that, we're here for them, and to make sure that they know that it's in proper hands. So stay in our lane as leadership and allow and step aside, not to give those briefings and details that are or might be still under investigation. So that was a good takeaway. Many of us take the National Incident Management courses. I know all of us up here pretty much have done those, and that's the same thing you take away from those, I think, and we're going to be doing those again soon. Another one was council-manager relationship, and I'm going to tell you, I didn't think it was necessary to take this workshop, because I can tell you that the council, our council, and our management has a great relationship, and I wanted to make sure we put that on the record. I don't even go to the classes anymore. I know our administrator and our assistant administrator and deputy administrator have been doing a phenomenal job in this town, and so the relationship has been very good with our council and mayor. So the advocacy committee, I serve on that as well. So there's the initiative, One Voice, local choices, make local voices with vocal. So I want everybody to promote that and make sure we get all of our words out there for everybody to help us with legislative issues. It's not just about us, it's about our community engagement as well. So that's it, folks.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I just happened to mention, I saw it, Greg Ross is now the vice president, right? Yeah. Of the,
President next year.
right, so,
No, he's second vice president this year, but president of the local league. And then now he's state league, he'll be president next year.
yeah, I just wanted to say it. We didn't need discussion over it.
Asking.
Okay, the few things that I wanted to go over. First, Ms. Lamack, are you going to ask the chief to address the training that's coming up
Which training would that
at
be?
Broward College?
Yes, Mayor. We've put it out and it'll be on the website as well.
Okay.
If you'd like, he can make a comment about it.
Yes.
Under my comments, that'll
Okay,
be fine,
thank
thanks.
The Women's Club celebrated its 100th anniversary, birthday, and it was a really beautiful job. They've done a marvelous job in revamping the building and adding so much to it, and I was really thrilled and honored to be one of the first recipients of a Legacy Award, and I know that came about probably because, or I know it did because of all the work that I did to get the building recognized as a national historic site. So we're very proud of that, to have 2 historic sites in the town of Davie. And I think we should be having some more with our history, our preservation board. There might be a few more places that we could identify as historic landmarks. I'd like someone to address the 14th Street. I guess it's the state controls it, the right-of-way from west of 154th over the bridge to includes our little property on the west side of that bridge. It is absolutely horrendous. The trees are dead. There's overgrowth. There's garbage. I mean, it's certainly not a very nice view as you enter Davie from Weston and when you leave. I mean, I hadn't been that way in a while, but it was really shameful. So I know we have to address that. I think at least part of it anyway with FDOT, and I'd like to see them get on that if you can. I'd like to remind everybody that we're going to have, or the Davie Jazz Society is going to have Ebony Paris in concert Saturday night from 7 to 10 or 7 to 9 at Zona Village, poolside. It's going to be a lovely concert. It's one of the first that the Society is planning to have in the downtown area. They have made an agreement with a company, Stax Live Entertainment, and we're looking for some really exciting things coming with that. And I noticed I was going to have Mr. Lamack and I were going to discuss the compact that the Davie Society has created for the downtown area as a cultural venue. And as a matter of fact, the Chamber put a whole description of it out today, and it was in one of the emails that we got from the Chamber of Commerce. So we're looking forward to a lot of great things happening in downtown Davie. The other thing is, I don't know how close we are to getting to the Shotgun Road preparation for the farm park, but I do know that I am very concerned about the few oak trees that are going to need to be moved, and to make sure that I remind you, I know I've reminded everybody a million times, that those trees have to be root pruned substantially prior to moving them and preparing them to so that they survive. So I want to make sure that you take an extra look at that and give me an update on it. I appreciate it. That's it for me. Yes? Yeah?
I went home on Facebook and the Jazz Society was sold out. And then I saw you put on it's not sold out. I'm like,
No.
okay, because
It's-
it said on Facebook it was sold out. We couldn't get tickets.
I don't know. It's
Then
not
you put
sold
on,
out.
It wasn't sold out.
It's not sold out. No. I don't know who put that up, but I know Ebony posted something after that saying we're not sold out. Yeah. Well, I copied it. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I forgot. This past Monday, we all celebrated with the Indian community at Gandhi Square and had what a turnout. It was absolutely wonderful for Indian Independence Day, 75th anniversary. It was a lovely turnout, and we had Vice Mayor read the proclamation and did a marvelous job. I want to thank Carol and Susan for being there. We had a very good representation. Thank you. Mr. Mack?
At the risk of being yelled at, I have one more thing for you.
Well,
I'm proud to announce that we will be hosting for the Broward League of Cities at the Old Davie School. And you are all invited, including staff, to please come to our Board of Directors meeting there. We
yeah,
would
it's
love
on,
to
it's
see
on my
all of you
calendar.
there.
On my
Thank you.
calendar.
On the first, right?
Leona, check.
Okay, Mr. Lemack?
Mayor, I'll have the chief good, and I'll give you an
Okay,
update, and then
thank you.
I have just something to share with you.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, staff, Steve Kinsey, Police Chief. Real quick, just tomorrow morning at Broward College, our special response team is going to be conducting the training exercise, mostly centered around building number 1. It's going to kick off around 9 a.m., will last into the afternoon. It'll be completely finished by 4 p.m. The notifications have been made, the signage is out there, and it's just one other training exercise. You know that this will be the third one. The first one at Broward College wasn't intentional. We thought it was real. The second one was at NSU, as it was referenced earlier, and this will be one just specific to our SRT team. It won't be the entire police department. And I'm here for any questions if you have.
No, I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
I know we're going to get a ton of calls. What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, you'll see a lot of police cars out there, a lot of guys running around in uniform with rifles, but again, it's just a training exercise, and it's very important for what we do in our mission.
Thank you very much. We
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chief. Mayor, at the July 27th, 22 council meeting, council discussed the Broward County Historic Preservation Board's 2022 requests for nominations for various awards, and you all recommended seeking input from the Davie Historic Preservation Board. I just wanted to update you. As in past years, the Old Davie School submitted nominations for a Pioneer Award as well. So David Abramson, staff liaison to the Historic Preservation Board, presented and received the following nominations at their July 28th meeting. We have the Judge Clayton Nance Memorial Award. The nomination was for Barbara and Richard McCall. The Dr. Cooper C. Kirk Award, the nominee was Kim Weissmantle. For the Stuart P. McElver Historians Award, the nominee was for the entity of the Davie Women's Club. These names have been submitted to the Broward County Historical Preservation Board for consideration, along with the other nominees that will come from across the county, and we'll update you when they make the selections. As for the Pioneer Award that was submitted by the Old Davie School, they selected Mike Crowley, who will be receiving the award on October 15th of this year at the Pioneer Day ceremony, which will be held in Wilton Manors. Lastly, for informational purposes, the town clerk, Ms. Roy, will hand out a list I thought you might find of value of all the past pioneers in the town of Davie dating back to 1973. So I wanted to share with that so you'll have that information. And that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the list.
I actually do have something tonight, Mayor
Okay.
and Council. I'm here to ask direction. As you all remember, this past legislative session, the state legislature passed Forest Statute 386.209, which was smoking in parks, which had preemption language, which carved out cigars. So I'm asking for direction from Council for the town to work with our state legislative Representative Gottlieb, to get this cigar preemption that was carved out removed, or have some sort of, yes.
Okay.
Okay, having been up there when they were debating this whole topic too, and as well as some other things, I can only tell you that they won't, because the legislators who passed it, it was a big fight, and they believe there were two issues that they addressed when it came to cigars, it wasn't so much the nuisance, but the biodegradable material that could be broken down over time in a cigar versus the tips on a cigarette on in parks and so forth. And they also said that vaping and smoking those kind of pipes would be you couldn't smoke those in parks and beaches either. But the cigars were exempted because several of the legislators up there smoked them themselves. And the reality is that the debate that they were trying to say was it was an environmental issue. And if it was an environmental issue that the community was bringing forward at the time, then it was a moot issue because it can be biodegradable because of the materials and the tobacco. So that didn't get passed, and it was carved out. And I know what's up there right now, and we could try to do it, but I will tell you it's not going to happen in a long time.
Mayor?
Yes.
That's fine. That's passed. That's happened. We can change it. And I want to be on record as saying that I agree with this, and I approve this as being something we want to recommend with other groups in the other municipalities in the state to have this stopped. That's all. That's all I have to say.
Meaning you want to have it work to change it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. You
Yeah.
didn't, I'm not sure that I was clear, especially after what Susan had said. Yeah, no, I think we should try to do it too. You know, we've had this in effect for years. We were ahead of the head of the game for so long, and I know the argument that about the biodegradable essence of cigars has nothing to do with the smoke and the
Cancer.
I know my father used to smoke cigars, and it was horrible. It was, you know, we used to gasp for breath. But I support what Alan is suggesting.
Now, I have a question too. They preempted it, but weren't we grandfathered in since our ordinance was in effect in 2004?
No, based upon the statute written,
Okay,
it says specifically preempted.
all right. I'll carry the flag, because I voted for it back then in '04. It was the Debbie Futch Act, by the way, Mr. Lemack.
Okay?
So what I'm hearing is yes, move forward,
Yes.
work with. All
Yes,
right, we'll do.
Absolutely.
It's going to be tough.
Is that it? Okay, folks. Is there no objections? We're adjourned.